So for our question 16, we're told the graph of a rational function is shown, y equals f of x and x equals 0, which are following graphs, is f of x plus 5. So y is equal to f of x originally, and now y is equal to f of x plus 5. That means y is just increased by 5 from whatever the original graph is. So we just take the original graph and move it up 5. So in this case, it should be like what? 9 and then 6. So not be this, not be this, not be this, and right here. So this is moved up 5, so the correct answer is D. Okay, sheet 17. Okay, so question 17. We're told the ratio of coaches to athletes is 1 to 26. So for every one coach, there's 26 athletes. So if there are X coaches, which are following represents the number of athletes. So if X is 1, then Y would have to be 26. Or in this case, it would just be 26 times the number of coaches, which is X. So 26X. So the correct answer is B. Question 18. Okay, so question 18. Um, she had fabric measuring 5 yards in length. We have a relationship with y minus 5x equals 6, where x is length of fabric purchased, and sorry, x is the number of suits that she made, and y is the length of fabric that she purchased. So in this case, the equation we have y minus 5x equals 6. Well, let's just get this in terms of y. That would just be y is equal to add 5x to both sides, so it's 5x minus 6. This basically just means that x is the number of suits that she made, minus 6 is equal to the total number of fabric, or in this case, the 6 is how much extra fabric she has after she makes all the suits. So in this case, she purchased 6 more yards of fabric than she used to make the suits. Okay, question 19. Okay, so question 19 was value of tan 92 pi over 3. Well, first, let's just simplify. So first, we know that from the unit circle that um, when we go around halfways, that's pi. And when we go around again, that would be 2 pi. So that means that once you do 2 pi rotations, you're back to exactly where you started. So in this case, we can easily simplify this. So 92 pi over 3 is the same thing as 30 pi plus um, 2 pi over 3. So 30 pi is the same thing as, uh, sorry. The way I got this is that 30 pi is the same thing as 90 over 3 pi. So 90 pi over 3 plus 2 pi is the same thing as 92 pi over 3. And then I just simplified these two to get 30 pi. And then, so after that, we know that since every time you go around the circle for 2 pi times, any even number will just be considered um, well, canceled out basically. So we're just left with 2 pi over 3. It's going to be the same. So tan 92 pi over 3 is the same as 2 pi over 3, or tan 2 pi over 3. So, so this is what we're left with. And then we can use our unit circle rules. And we know that tangent of 2 pi over 3 would be right here, which should just be negative square root of 3. Or answers are same. So for that part, you'd have to have memorized the unit circle for the tan 2 pi over 3, which is something that we should know. Okay. Question 20. Okay, so question 20, we're asked what is the value of cosine of x? So in this case, cosine is adjacent over the hypotenuse. So adjacent would just be uh, 11, and then the hypotenuse is along this angle, so 28, so it's just 11 over 28. Okay, question 21. Okay, so for question 21, we have the function g is defined by g of x, so x is 15, t minus x, where t is a constant, and we're asked to find the value of g of 0 given a point. So in this case, um, well, we know that the intercepts of x is at -14 and at x is equal to t. And we also know that it passes to the point +24 and 0. So in that case, um, we know that g of 24 is equal to 0. So in this case, t minus, sorry, that's not x. T minus x has to be equal to 0 for um, this statement to be true. So that would mean that t has to equal 24 in all cases. So substituting into the equation, we get x plus 14, and then we get there's like 24 minus x, sorry, minus x. And because of how these type of graphs work, this is always true. So in this case, uh, to find g of 0, we can just plug in 0 for x. So in this case, we have 14 and we have 24. So in that case, 14 times 24 is equal to 336. So which is the correct answer then? And also for those of you wondering how I got this, so g of 24 is 0, right? So just be t minus 20, sorry, t minus 24, 0. So that's right, our t is 24. Okay, question 22. Okay, so question 22. Um, we're given a equation of a circle. So in this case, we have the equation of a circle would just be x minus h squared plus I minus k squared equals r squared. So based on this information, we know that the center point is at -4 and the y value is at positive 19. And we also know that the radius, so this is the c, and the radius is equal to square root of 121, which is 11. And then in order to find the possible values for A, it would have to be on the circle. So we have the circle, we have a center point, and we have the radius of 11, center point here. And it has to just lie somewhere on the circle. So that means the point must be, this is the lowest point it can be, and this is the highest point it can be, which would just be from -15 because -4 minus 11, and then we also have -4 plus 11, which is +7. So the point must lie somewhere between -15 and 7, and then from the answer choices, -16 is too far to the left, -14 is between these two values, so this is correct. 11 is too far to the right, and 19 is also too far to the right. So the correct answer is B. Okay, question 23. Okay, so question 23, we have a rectangular prism. So we have height, base, and width. So in this case, we just have capital B times the width, or times the height, more specifically. Where capital B is the area of the total base, which would just be length times width. So in this case, we have uh, length is x, and it's 7 more inches than the width of the prism's base. So width is x minus 7. So we have x minus 7. And then the height is 9. So we have 9. And well, that's the answer. So now we just have to simplify. So 9 can be multiplied by x to get 9x. And then we have the x minus 7 still left, which is answer choice D. Okay. Question 24. Okay, so question 24. Resolving functions has a minimum value at -3. So we have -6, 3 to the power of x minus 3, and -3, 6 to the power of x. So both of these functions um, look like this and this. They're both decreasing functions and are exponential. And well, that means that there's no minimal value, which means which of the functions have a minimal value at -3? Neither of them. So the correct answer is D. Question 25. So question 25, result of increasing quantity x by 400% is 60 was value of x. So we have x plus 400% as a decimal is 4. We have x equals 60 as value of x, so 5x equals 60, which is just equal to 12. So correct answer is A. Okay, question 26. Okay, so question 26, we have a function ax squared plus bx plus c. We're given intercept point, and we're told a is greater than 1 when it's value of a plus b. So in this case, we're given the intercept point, so we can just turn this to the standard form. So we have x minus 7, because this is positive 7, and then we have x plus 3, because this is negative 3, which when we simplify this out, we get x squared, we get negative 7x and positive 3x, which is just negative 4x when you sum those two. And then you have minus 21, because negative 7 times positive 3 is negative 21. And then we're told that a is an integer greater than 1. So what that means is, say you have a quadratic, you have two intersection points. You can have a graph like this, or a graph like this, or a graph like this. They both pass through the same points, but they just have different sort of slopes, I guess, shapes. So in this case, we just have some sort of initial multiplication factor here at the beginning. So we can multiply this out to get ax squared minus 4ax minus 21a. This term doesn't even matter. And so now simplify. So we know that in a quadratic formula, we have ax squared plus bx plus c. So we know that this is just a, and then b is equal to negative 4a. So we have negative 4a, and c doesn't matter. So using this formula, if we want to get a plus b, we can just add a to both sides. So we can just do b plus a. So a plus, and we can add an a to this side as well. So we have a plus b is equal to negative 3a. So this means that a plus b is some relation of negative 3a. So if a is equal to 1, then we would have negative 3. If a is equal to 2, we would have negative 6. And we're told that a is an integer greater than 1. So that means a would have to be 2 or more, which would mean that the only answer choice here that works is negative 6. We're told it's an integer, so it has to be some of 3. And it's positive, so it has to be less than negative. So correct answer is okay. Question, give me 7. Question 27. So function, um, we're told the value of g 7 minus w is 0, so that means we're just plugging in 7 minus w for x. So that would just be 7 minus w, um, and then we plug in here, so that's just 7 minus w minus 2, and we have 7 minus w, and then plus 6 squared. So that's just plugging in for x, and we know that this is equal to, well, let's just simplify first. 7 minus w, 7 minus w minus 2, so that's just 7 minus 2 is 5 minus w, and this is 7 plus 6 is 13 minus w squared. And we know that the value of this is equal to 0, so we can just do 0. So for this to be equal to 0, any one of these three terms can be equal to 0. So if we set this first term equal to 0, we have w equals 7. For the second term, w equals 5. And then for the third term, w equals 13. So any of these three values will result in one of these three being equal to 0, which when multiplied with everything else will result in the final equation being equal to 0. And so we're asked what is the sum of all possible values? Well, it's these three, so we just do 7 plus 5 plus 13, which is equal to 25. Uh, question 1. Okay, so question 1 was 20% of 440, so we have 440 and we got 20%. 20% is the same thing in decimal form as 0.2, or if you want to use it as division, it would just be divided by 5. So 440 divided by 5 is equal to 88. That's 88. Or answer choice B. Okay, question 2. Okay, so question two, we're asked to find estimated pressure, PSI, and we're given 8600 kelvins. So here, right here, it's 12. So correct answer is B, 12. Okay, question three. Three, we have raised value of 10. We just put in 10 for X. So 4, 10, 30, 40 minus 3, 37. So the correct answer is B. Okay, question four. Okay, so question four, which expression is equivalent? Well, we can just simplify out the common factor, which would just be what? 13 and 16 is divisible by 2. And both of these have xy, so we have 2xy. Um, and then got what? 8x squared y. And then we'd have plus 7. So the correct answer is B. It's time.